This episode is about 3 passages taking us from Plymouth, England to Cascais, Portugal, via Camaret-sur-Mer, France, and La Coruña, Spain.
It's October 4. We've been in Plymouth for 8 days, waiting for a weather window. Tomorrow is it. We're setting off in the morning across the Bay of Biscay. I'm expecting that the crossing of the Bay of Biscay will be the most challenging passage of our entire journey. We're expecting 4-meter waves, 25 knot winds, gusts to 30, maybe more. We'll see. And a quick ride to La Coruña, Spain.
It's been a wonderful visit. Some great people in Plymouth. It's a wonderful town, and we're looking forward to leaving to new adventures in Spain.
I like that. What Dennis said.
We left Plymouth on a gray morning. At first the seas weren't too bad, but later they got much worse than this. Things broke, so we took refuge in Camaret-sur-Mer. I'll let me explain it here.
It's mid-morning, Sunday, October the 11th. We're about halfway across the Bay of Biscay on our second attempt to cross the bay. I'm on my 4th 3-hour watch. Watches are pretty boring most of the time. All you do while you're in watch is sit at the helm and make sure nothing bad happens. So I thought while I was just sitting at the helm, I'd tell you what happened with our first attempt to cross the bay. We set out from Plymouth as we planned, Monday morning in high winds and fairly heavy seas, but we expected the seas to abate, and they didn't, and the winds kept building. We ended up eventually running with a double reefed main and a reefed jib. Then the jib furling line broke, making it impossible to roll the jib back up. The second reef in the main chafed through, so we decided to lower the sails, turn on the motors, and head to Brest. Well, we couldn't lower the jib, we could only lower the main because of the furling line. And because of carelessness on our part, the port engine stopped. The top line we failed to put away properly, got stuck in the prop. So we limped around the island of Ushant, and instead of going all the way to Brest, we made port at Camaret-sur-Mer, which is a very delightful town. And we'll tell you a little bit about it later. We stayed in Camaret-sur-Mer for 4 days. That gave us time to fix the broken lines, for Dennis to clear the prop, which fortunately suffered no damage. It allowed us to plan the next good weather window across the bay, which was yesterday and today. We also got to drink some French wine and enjoy some excellent grapes. So, what did we learn from the experience? First, don't be impatient. Second, big waves are not fun. And third, do all of the appropriate actions one should take as a good sailor.
This is Camaret-sur-Mer, a beautiful little town. The marina has an old fort, pour Valbonne, complete with moat. It has a derelict fishing fleet and a quaint church with ships hanging from the ceiling. We're leaving Cameret-sur-Mer tomorrow morning. We've completed all of our repairs. We replaced the number 2 reef with new line. Unfortunately, the only line we could find is the same color as the main sheet, so that's going to make things a little bit confusing. When you see the 2 lines, which is which, you'll have to look up at the clutch to find out. Here's one more thing we did in preparation for leaving Cameret. We went to the local store and picked up some French wines and rum for our wine cellar. 58 hours after leaving Cameret, we arrived in La Coruña, Spain. Up ahead is the Hercules Tower, the oldest lighthouse in the world.
Hey, we just finished 2.5 days of crossing the Bay of Biscay, and it was wonderful. It wasn't so bad. Not wonderful, maybe, but it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, he's lying when he says it was wonderful.
But it did not live up to its reputation. It did not. It was
It was very
It was a
uneventful.
pleasant surprise
It
how
was-
easy the trip was.
Exactly.
Hey, and we didn't break anything.
We didn't break anything.
Everything worked.
Everything worked.
We're not
The sail is
necessarily
not-
aware that where we broke anything or not, but the second reef didn't quite work.
Yeah, no, we got to get that fixed. But,
So-
But the
that's
sail
probably just a
is
minor-
not shredded.
I thought the sail was shredded when I was hallucinating one morning.
Yes.
But it
Scared the
turns
hell
out
out of me,
So,
but
so what are your
okay.
comments on passage making now that you've done a 2.5 day passage?
Passage making so far is not fun, and
It's a lot of work.
It's kind of an endurance thing.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I ever slept more than 1 hour at a time.
ooh,
Yep.
you really were bad.
And no, that's right.
Yeah, because I was
So-
able to sleep more
That's
than
because
that.
you were probably worried about the boat. Right?
No, maybe, I don't know, probably.
Well, and
So-
all the noises, whether the engine's running or not, there's noises in the cabin.
There are always noises and there's sounds.
and
things
Mark's
and
worried
you,
about what any of them might
and you
be.
try and
So-
figure out what they are.
So we sailed about 50% of the time and we motored about 50% of the time, right?
We had some pretty good sails
Yeah.
until the wind started to die, and then
And
we
plus
want-
we were trying to get in 2.5 days, and so we had
Yes.
we
to
wanted
motor sail.
we wanted to make sure we made it here to beautiful La Coruña before dark, because it wouldn't have been fun.
Yes.
Well,
coming in
and
here after dark.
lucky we did because it's socked in foggy.
And it's all
Dark and foggy would have really been hard.
it's foggy and overcast right now.
Hoping for better weather.
Right. Okay. See you on the flip side.
Yes. Stay tuned.
We only spent 2 nights in La Coruña. We did get to see a bit of the old city, including this restaurant-lined square. Unfortunately, all the restaurants were closed. We left because a weather window was open that allowed us to get to Cascais before a massive storm arrived from the North Atlantic. We motorsailed all the way to Cascais to make sure we got there during daylight hours. With the sun on our back, we enjoyed rainbows in the rain and sea spray.
Islas Cisargas, Northern Finisterre. There's Cabo Villan. We're now on our 3rd watch for the day. Here's Dennis trying to figure something out.
We got a route for the next waypoint. So we'll be around, we should be around the Cape before sunset.
Thumbs up.
Look, it's some dolphins showed up just in time
What?
for your video, right there.
We found that at nighttime the compass was just far too bright. It was reflecting off of the plastic windscreen here. And so Jai came up with this beautiful solution. Cover the compass with a bowl. Now I know what you're thinking, that means you can't tell where you're going, but quite honestly, we're not relying on magnetic compasses, we're relying on this stuff. Sunrise on the Portuguese coast, or is it off the Portuguese coast? Anyway, that's the Portuguese coast and it's sunrise. Well, we're somewhere off the coast of Portugal. It's sunny, hardly any clouds in the sky, and with all the canvas zipped up, I got a nice little greenhouse effect going on here, and it's so warm I can't even stand having my fallies on anymore. Cascade. Okay, the changing of the flags in Cascais.
Portugal, so he has a Portuguese flag in his hand. He's going to take down the Spanish flag from our last port, which was A Coruña. Here it comes down.
Enye. A Coruña.
The ceremony you have to do in every new port you visit after you register and check in.
Are you ready?
Yes, okay, here it is. Look at that. I don't even know if I have it on the... Look, beautiful. We are officially in Portugal now.
We arrived in Cascais mid-morning and tucked away securely behind the marina wall. We'll be here for several days waiting for good weather and the chance to move on.